What's up everyone, it's Alex the Sega Guru here. Now, the one thing that most people have said in the time that I've been covering homebrews and ports to the various Sega systems is, why is there a real lack of 3D development for, most notably, the Dreamcast? Now, developer Niels van Son, based in Cologne, Germany, some friends of the channel Debug actually attended Gamescom that took place in Germany, where this was actually being shown. This was kind of one that I've never even heard of, but I have to say, looking pretty darn awesome. Now to note, the game is very, very early on in development, but what you're seeing here is an approved first build. Here's a quick rundown of what the actual developer said. Now, MagicDust started as a university project. I moved from southern France to study video game development with a specialisation in programming here in Cologne, Germany. And that place being the Cologne Game Lab, which has been around for almost a decade now. While we primarily target indie development for modern platforms with engines such as Unity and Unreal for ease of use, we did have a semester that we could choose to completely dedicate to one personal project. So long, of course, that it made sense in the context of the studies. I knew from the get-go that I wanted to do something that had to do with retro homebrew. Not necessarily reinventing the wheel, but something that would reflect my passion for games. I briefly used SGDK and DevKit tools in the past, just out of curiosity for what could be done. But despite the fact I was not born when the console was current, the Dreamcast is really what soothes my heart. I'm already in admiration of the creativity of the games from that era, and I wanted to participate even if 25 years too late in being part of the ecosystem. The project got pitched back in October of 2024, so not that long ago now, and guess what engine he chose? The Simulant engine. Obviously, aka Kazard's engine, aka behind games like Driving Strikers, and to be fair, we are seeing more and more titles using the Simulant engine. I got help from a friend of mine called Alba to make the 3D assets, and to be fair, I've also linked her Instagram in the description box below if you do want to check out Alba's work. She made just absolutely wonderful models, textures. I'm super stoked at how things have turned out so far. One of the biggest praise points we got on site at Gamescom was the visuals. And to be fair, I absolutely do agree with that. I'm really quite enamoured with the look of this game. It's vibrant. I actually really love the run animation of the character, and also the kind of just the character's actual visuals itself. And also to note, Chris Knoll from Retrospiel is also publishing the title itself. Now, there are many features at this point missing, but this really is a base from which to build. He'd also like to essentially have Shenmue-like cutscenes with voice acting. Who knows, that absolutely could be in the pipeline. There's an actual storyline in which more characters will be introduced, a progression-based linear gameplay, perhaps similar to Rayman 2 or Sonic Adventure. Elements will be things like puzzle elements, dynamic camera angles, bosses, and things like that. Now, what I'll say is, when we actually look at the controls, I think they're pretty darn simple. Yes, it's analog stick and jump. There's really not too much kind of going on here, which means it's not over the top complicated. It's simplified, it's pick up and play. And the shoulder buttons just meaning you can kind of pan the camera angle left and right. So it absolutely works. The next thing to note is the audio design. I actually think the audio design, it really gives that premium feel. It really sounds like a studio-produced piece of audio, which, if this is just the first track, I think we're in for quite a treat. Now, do let me know what you think of this. This really is a 3D homebrew coming to fruition. We haven't seen many, so it's interesting to see this come along, and I'll be following the progress as it happens, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's Alex signing out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. As well as that, you can also back the channel on Patreon. QR code is down below. But obviously you can check out this video, you can also check out that video. And on that note, it's Al signing out.